Welcome, everyone, to Haven of Horror. As always, I'm Subject. And I have Robert. Gone the days are wild.
I am.
What's up?
So many days. How many days have been gone just for playing this game?
I mean,
I'll never get
14,
back.
14
Oh,
days have gone by since we played this last.
oh my God. We're like different people.
Oh. I mean,
746.
yeah, that's how many days have gone by in the game.
I like to imagine Sam Witwer on the motion capture stage with every single one of those weapons on his back. It's like, no, you have to perform with all of these for authenticity.
Cool. Don't you know anything about gaming? Infestations. I thought I did that already. We don't have a lot of gas. We should get some gas, Robert.
Just having a look.
Gas is good.
Gasoline.
Move it. You good for your bike? Hey, how's it going?
So, what have you been up to the last few
We're
days?
gonna run out of this someday.
Today was very busy. I was helping my parents clear out their shed,
Hey,
Oof.
so I'm a little exhausted, but I'm here.
Well, we appreciate it,
For some,
Robert.
thank you,
Because
I'm here for some zombie apocalyptic escapism.
biker escapism. Because
Yeah,
I do find, as much as
this
I
game's really
enjoy,
just a biking simulator.
yeah, as much as I do enjoy streaming, I feel like it's a better stream when I have somebody to like, bounce off.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if the chat's dead and I'm just sitting here playing the game. Like,
say I'm at holiest.
I'm not saying, I'm probably not going to be saying anything.
Hey, Boozer, you there? I just caught a break. That Nero radio might actually be useful.
So
Is
my
Boozer ever gonna get better?
no.
Wow.
Uh, so my friend made me watch the 2003 Italian Job last night. Oh god,
Oh,
it was all right.
I remember it being all right.
That it's like it's funny too because it's like here's an all-star cast and then here's Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Also, because okay, so the biggest problem is that the entire movie is set up as like a revenge heist movie, but like I don't care about why they're getting revenge because the person that died I've known for like 5 seconds.
Used to say a lot of stupid shit. Deacon out.
Like, what exactly is their relationship with Donald Sutherland? Like, how long have they known each other? Oh, it doesn't.
Brian.
But John, it's Donald Sutherland.
Oh, what the hell happened here?
Eh.
Wonder if they left
Also,
Who was the
what's that?
twist villain? Who was the villain in that?
Edward Norton,
Oh, okay,
with a very questionable mustache.
yeah.
Yeah, look up a photo of him in that movie. It's hysterical.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in like I don't know 20 years.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. I mean, I'm
I've
glad to knock
been
it off the list, but
yeah. I think it's the first Jason Statham. It's probably the first Jason Statham movie I ever see.
yeah, I was shocked he was in it. Seth, I don't know if you remember
Seth
this. Seth
Green.
Green is in that movie,
Yeah,
and I
he's comic
okay,
relief guy.
I really like Seth Green, like as an actor. I think he is terrible in that movie. 'Cause I don't know if you remember this. This is the main thing that holds that movie back. Is his main joke is I invented Napster, but it got stolen from me.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
topical?
Yeah, I was like,
Not
oh,
really.
this
Like,
this is this was definitely made in the 2000s. And then okay, so his character payoff is he makes a joke at the beginning that it's like, oh, I'm gonna get a stereo with a sound system so powerful it can blow the clothes off a woman. and then his payoff is
Oh
that he
yeah,
does that, and I'm like,
yeah.
this is such a weird shift in tone for this otherwise serious movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Tucker. Okay, I'll stay
Um,
when I can. Peacing out. Marauders killing freaks, huh? Doing something right for a change.
who are you talking to? I
Honestly,
think
that is probably why I'm such a big fan of Fast Five. Though, is I just remember that being like the Italian Job, just better.
I can
Car
totally
just
see that.
movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I feel
remember the
like
heist stuff
those.
being cool.
Yeah, I feel like those first five, maybe six, because I like six. FF movie, Fast and Furious movies are pretty solid.
You don't need
Yeah,
these.
I didn't like seven, but I think that's more just they gave up.
their hands were tied on that.
Yeah.
I thought they did the best with what they
Well,
had.
and it's like you
Seven,
have Kurt Russell, but like he's nothing in that movie.
yeah, he doesn't get a lot to do. Seven for me is just it's the exit
Yeah.
point. Like I don't
No,
think it's a great film, but it's a good okay, I'm out
Yep, I haven't seen
movie.
a single one after that.
I saw Hobbs and Shaw.
I am kind of
I didn't
curious
need
about
to.
that one. But no, like because Paul Walker was the like lead of those movies.
Yeah.
It was his story. Like I don't care about after that.
Yeah. And like that's such an impossible situation where when you have an actor like that die literally midway through production, it's like, well, what's more respectful? Like, do you scrap everything you have with them to just start over and write him out or recast, or do you work with what you have?
Now, I
And
will say,
you
if
know
there's one thing they did, I think incredibly well, it is that ending of him and Dom driving off.
that ending's great. It's super cheesy and it only works if you understand the behind the scenes context. I don't care. It's still a great ending.
Yeah, no, it's
I
oh
know
yeah,
at one point that movie was gonna have another after credits scene because the previous few movies had done that. Like, okay, we got to tease what's coming next, and they ended up scrapping that. Like, let's just leave this one be and worry about the next movie later. Which for me worked out great because
yeah,
after seven, I'm out. Like, it's
yep,
just, it's a solid ending for me.
nope, that's where it ends. Although, it's funny because I say that, and then they go and cast Cena as a villain in one of them, and I'm like, now I'm curious, damn it.
That is Vin Diesel's brother.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I've heard Momoa is terrible in 10.
Oh, I never saw it.
I didn't either. What happened to 10 Part 2?
Good question. It's still coming out, I think. Let's see what the current date for that is.
Because, like, I
Because
remember
with
they made a big deal out of, oh, we're splitting 10 into two parts. It's the end of the franchise. And then just nothing?
yeah, 10 was weird too because they lost Justin Lin like right at the start of filming and brought in some guy
Yeah, because I
who's
remember that was
probably
like the
doing a lot.
start of the rumors that Vin Diesel was incredibly hard to work with on those movies.
Yeah. Oh
Honestly,
wow.
I'm kind of glad Justin Lin left. I hope that he gets to do something cool because, like, Star Trek
He made a
Beyond
good
is
Star
really
Trek
good.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so I mean I was as skeptical as everyone else and it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next Fast and Furious movie it has been moved to an unspecified date in 2026.
Uh,
Wow.
okay, it will. I will laugh if that movie just never comes out and that franchise ends on a cliffhanger. Because I assume that's what they did, right? Like,
Yeah, X ends on a cliffhanger, which is really funny. All I know is that it ends on a cliffhanger with his kid, but now that kid's gonna be like 5 years older
And maybe he's right. I don't know.
by the time the next movie comes out.
Pretty bad the other day. We ran into some rippers who burned the hell out of his.
Why is he talking to a rock?
I broke into one of those. What the hell do you call them? mobile medical units. I mean, I got him sterile bandages. And I hope it's enough, you know? But Boozer, you know, he says he's fine, but I don't think so. Shit looks pretty bad to me. See, the thing is, it was on me. I risked his life for a bike part. Goddamn bike part. Not that it mattered, the son of a bitch Copeland parted it out anyway. Took me a year to put that bike together. You would have liked it. It's not as nice as the one that I taught you to ride on, but it got me around. You remember that tank that you had painted for me? Well, that was the only thing left of that old hog, and now it's gone too. As soon as we get it back together, my bike, and get Boozer patched up, we're gonna ride north. Fresh start. Yeah, a lot of memories around here. Too many. Anyway, I guess I'm just saying that, I might not see you again, you know?
Good monologue.
No, that is something I think this game is smart about. It'll have these scenes where it just lets Whitwer do his thing, which we will see him do his thing very soon on Smallville.
Yay.
Doomsday is coming. I wish I
Doomsday
was
is
watching that. I wish I was watching that show like as season 8 aired. So I think that's the last season I have to catch up on DVD. Because I just want to see how you market Doomsday to like the CW audience.
coming.
Got it. Okay.
One thing I was thinking about earlier. Did you know that Tom Welling is older than Brandon Routh?
I didn't. That's crazy.
It's I don't know. It's funny to me that Brandon Routh gets his gig as Superman, while Tom Welling is still playing Clark Kent, but that's like mid run on that show. It's not even near the end.
Yeah, no, that is really funny. And I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but like I've always said that I think Brandon Ruth could have been the best Superman if he wasn't stuck in Returns.
Yeah. No, he was good casting.
Returns has that thing where it's too obsessed with the Donner movie. Oh God.
Well, it's like
Oh Jesus.
Oh, please. Yeah,
Okay.
don't drive into that.
We're going. We're going. Oh God, that's a tree.
Watch out for that tree. Yeah,
We
in
do.
hindsight, driving into that pack of zombies was a not great plan.
I didn't see them there. Oh God, they're still after me. Oh shit. Oh God.
Oh dear. Oh, my bike.
Why?
Oh,
Why can't
this
I
is
go up?
Unfortunate terrain. Yeah, it is weird how many of like the soft reboot trope boxes Returns checks off long before that becomes a trend.
Yeah, is that the first like? Oh, this is going back and bringing back this thing you remember. At least it's at least the first superhero one, right?
Right, probably the first superhero one to do that. But like to the point of introducing a kid character to maybe be the protagonist later, which of course never happened. But it's doing that thing where it's like you said, it's too obsessed with Superman in '78. It's trying too hard to be a remake of that and a sequel at the same time.
Yeah, and instead it's just boring.
Yeah, and it fails at both. Hey Tyler in live chat, what's up? He just asked
God.
if you saw the Avengers news. Yeah, I have. I don't know. That Doomsday was pushed back to December of next year, and then Secret Wars will be the following December.
Anybody shocked?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, fine. Like, that movie just started filming. If it's better for the VFX artists, then that's a good thing. I don't know what else is gonna get shuffled around because of that.
Speaking of leaks, I'm not gonna tell you what I saw like in them, but I did. So I got the Last of Us season 2 finale spoiled for me.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, somebody somehow saw it early and just uploaded footage on TikTok. So
Weird.
thanks for that.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we won't talk about that
Yeah.
in detail, but yeah, that blows. The only people I know who would have seen it by now are like critics. So if
Yeah, I
somebody
don't.
leaked that shit, like that costs your job. Like,
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but I mean, it looked real. Like if that's fake, it's the
oh, I
best
believe
fake
it.
I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Okay. Well, you'll tell me on Monday
Yeah.
if the footage matched up or not.
Yeah. Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I
because
mean,
I don't.
with Doomsday, I mean, I'm excited. Just even if it's not good, if you just give me some of the fan service that I've wanted, and this is the end of that, then sure. Um, but this needs to be the end. Like you can't.
Do you
Secret
buy
Wars
the
and
rumor?
Doomsday can't do it anymore after that.
Yeah. Do you buy the rumor that they want to split these two films into three, and that they're holding off on that announcement?
Honestly, if with how many characters are gonna be in these fucking movies, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
These movies are gonna make Doomsday or uh, Endgame and Infinity War look like Avengers movies.
Because even in game, like part of what I like about that movie is that there aren't that many characters. It's really just the final battle
Yeah.
when like 200 characters show up. But for most of that movie, like it's just a standard Avengers cast, and I don't think Doomsday's gonna have that at all.
No, Doomsday is going to be the third act of Endgame, but for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Tyler, will you go see Doomsday in theater? No. What do you think will happen to Spider? It will be made and come out.
Yeah, well, I was actually gonna bring that up though, where I don't know how this affects that. Because granted, that movie hasn't even started filming yet, but it's supposed to come out in summer next year. But story wise, will that have to get pushed? Or do you think they'll try to still put that out before Doomsday? Because the original plan was it was going to come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and I don't know if story-wise if they're going to have to shuffle it around.
So I see two outcomes. One, they just move it so that it maintains the same story. Or two, and I know this is kind of a vague, like these are the two obvious choice answers, but the problem is I don't know anything about what that movie is going to be.
Yeah.
Is it's going to be a No Way Home situation where they retool it to now make sense to come out before, and either it's a sloppy mess like No Way Home is, um, or it's a simple enough story that you can just retool it to fit before Doomsday.
Yeah, especially if he's not even in Doomsday.
Yeah, because like
that makes that.
I like No Way Home a lot more than most of our friends, but it's really hurt by the fact that it ended up having to come out after, before Multiverse.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what to fucking believe anymore. There have been so many goddamn rumors around that movie, but
Marvel
ones we're
really
hearing...
needs someone like James Gunn who just comes out and says, "No, that is not."
Yeah. And then I don't know, you got scoopers like Jeff Snyder who have really been losing credibility. Where first it's Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey in X-Men, and then it's Sadie Sink is in Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure she's playing Aunt Mary Jane. Never mind. I think she's actually playing it. Like, okay, which is it?
Looks like they hit by a swarm. She was here.
I don't know. I think like for scoopers like him, his batting average has not been great lately.
No, I don't think anybody knows what's going on anymore.
Yeah, what we officially know is that Sadie Sink is playing somebody in the Spider-Man movie.
I would love if she's MJ. I think she's perfect casting for this Spider-Man. But then that becomes awkward with Zendaya.
Yeah. No, Tyler. I don't think they've started filming Spider-Man yet. So the late, but also like back to like that original report of Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. It's like you can't put stock in any of this because she's just a big up and coming actress, and Stranger Things is ending, so anyone could have guessed that she'd be in the MCU somewhere. Like that's an easy thing to lie about and then just have it kind of work out later. Like, oh, never mind, she's not X-Men, she's in Spider-Man. It's like, well, yeah, you could have guessed she'd be in one of these.
How unhinged would it be if it is true that she's playing Jean Grey, but now she's Spider-Man's love interest?
That'd be amazing. I don't think they're doing that though.
There's no way.
Rumor, yeah. The latest rumor, because the movie has to have multiverse stuff, is that Sadie Sink is actually playing Mayday Parker.
Oh God! And listen, this is not me. I love Mayday Parker. Like that Spider Girl mini from the '90s is really good. What a Spider-Man movie! Remember when we made those?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I in a vacuum, I wouldn't hate that. Because I do think that's good casting. I mean, I take that over her playing Carly Cooper, I guess.
Yeah. It's so weird because, like, we still haven't had a definitive MJ.
Yeah.
I love Emma Stone. Well, okay. I love Emma Stone in the Amazing movies, but she's basically playing MJ, but as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
So, like, we've kind of had the definitive MJ, just they dyed her hair blonde and called her Gwen Stacy. We did Liz Allen, and I mean, that's a character you can reinvent, because who gives a fuck about Liz Allen?
Right.
But, like, we cannot get his love interests right. I don't understand. Why the fuck would I want to see him with Carly Cooper? He's never even met, this version of Peter's never even met Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And you made Betty Brant an annoying comic relief character.
Yeah, that's just... That's a good actress, but yeah, that's Betty Brant name only.
No, like, because Far From Home is also the start of, like, oh, you have nothing to do you have nothing for Ned to do in these.
There we go.
And it's funny, I was thinking about this while we were watching Smallville season 7. Is those movies have the opposite of the Smallville problem, where the confidant is the love interest, or or the person that's supposed to be the confidant isn't, they're the love interest, and the actual confidant is just the best friend. In the Spider-Man movies, his confidant is his best friend, but then his love interest also becomes that. So the original one has nothing to do anymore.
Yep.
Hey, I'm not gonna hurt you. See, I'm not with those assholes.
Oh my God.
Hey Google, turn off my light.
Help, Tucker sent me. Wait, I said that I am here to help you. No, I'm with Tucker. I do runs for, yeah.
They starved me. I wouldn't follow her orders, so they wouldn't feed me.
Well, I mean, it's a work camp. I mean, everyone's got to work.
The work camp.
I'm not a slave. I'm not going
That should be a
back to
gif.
I'd rather die out here.
Okay.
Tyler, I heard that the villains of the movie are Scorpion, Tombstone, Boomerang, and Mr. Negative. God, I hope not.
That's a lot of villains.
Yeah, just do one or two. Do you think they will just continue the trend, casting Spider-Man love interest with the wrong hair color, so they have to dye it for the movie? I mean, that's like the least important thing.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have a love interest in the movie, like that's fine. You don't have to check that box for every Spider-Man. But if you're gonna do one, like just do Black Cat. Like I've been asking for Black Cat for years. It'd be something different.
The closest we've gotten,
properly.
the closest we've gotten is Felicia being like a cameo in Amazing 2.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because you say, and dyeing their hair. I like Zendaya well enough in those movies, but they didn't even bother to dye her hair in those.
Yeah. After I've talked about this before. After Homecoming, I had like a whole theory on how they were gonna get her to a more comic book Mary Jane place over the course of those movies, and then Far From Home just said nope. Like she is MJ in name only, and we just stuck to her being this other character.
And she's like a different character in every movie.
Yeah.
In the first movie, oh god.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Whee!
That'll work.
They can do it too.
Yeah, they can. Where the fuck is my bike? Shit.
It's fine.
This is what's frustrating about this early game when you don't have like any gear.
But
did that count me destroying that nest? It did.
Tucker.
Woo.
Tucker. Deacon St. John.
Back to those villain rumors. Like, I'd be fine with some of those villains being in the movie, but the rumor is that Mr. Negative will be like the main villain, which that's not exciting.
No, he's one of the leads in Spider-Man PS4, and I'd argue he's the worst part.
She took one of the squatters' bikes. She said that she was gonna.
Like he's fine as a boss fight.
Like I like that game, but the biggest problem with that game is a lot of it feels like we're just wasting time until we can get to the big Doc Ock reveal.
No, of course not. It's just a kid like Rose.
Let's see.
She doesn't have a goddamn clue about what's out there.
Well, I don't know.
No, just can we pay off that Scorpion thing now? 10 years later?
He is one of the rumored villains, so.
Yeah. Well, that's what's always funny too is in interviews, Tom Holland's like, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be playing Spider-Man. I'm like, but you haven't done anything.
In his defense, he did 6 movies.
I know, but he hasn't done anything. I think Tyler just made another comment. You want to read that?
Yeah. Yeah, he says he thinks Mr. Negative will be the main villain, but the other 3... Oh, God, I don't like this. Well, maybe. Well, he said his theory is that the other 3 villains would just be a montage to start the movie, and I don't want to pay off the Scorpion setup in a montage.
No, that would be
a real
Thor.
Villain.
That would be Thor Ragnarok levels of stupid.
Yeah, like, we gotta deal with this for the first 5 minutes.
No, if you're gonna do that, which I do think that is a good idea, like having like a montage of maybe some villains. This is a Spider-Man that you could finally do the reoccurring villain. Put Shocker in that montage.
Right. Shockingly
Vulture.
perfect. We've already
I
seen
don't know
him.
where Vulture is, but put him there.
Yeah,
He-
well, I think Sony's ruined Vulture forever.
What?
Unless Disney just ignores it,
I mean, Disney could just ignore
which
that.
would be fine.
No, because that's what I said. I don't know where Vulture is. He's either in the MCU or he's in Morbius, one of the two. And then you could also do some small villains like what's his name?
Big
The
Will?
guy that leaps. Uh, Nick Spencer did a really big story with him.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And one of the rumored villains is Boomerang, who I know nothing about, but I guess he's in the Spencer run, so
Yeah,
probably what
that's
they're
his
pulling from.
sidekick. Okay,
Uh,
so this is another
I'll
thing
give
that
you
I,
that.
I have to complain about. Because this has been a problem with Marvel for a while now, and I don't understand. Why is it that we can only adapt comics from the like 2010s?
Tucker, Deacon St. John Day.
Because those are the modern ones.
Remember when the MCU started and it's like, oh, we're pulling from like a whole bunch of things?
Yeah.
Found her and she's on her way back.
Now it's like, yeah, we're adapting Brand New Day because everybody loves Brand New Day.
Said that she was gonna be able to find her way. Look, she didn't want my help.
Oh, God damn it, Deke. You should have brought her in.
Well, why? Talk. Why? Is something wrong? I mean, is there some reason she didn't want?
I like frustrated Sam Witwer in this game.
Oh God!
You should have brought her in. Why?
And it's amazing because it's clearly not an accident because he's done it twice now. Because he did that and then he's like, it's a work camp.
Yeah. It's so good.
I saw him on Twitch the other day playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The game is awesome. It's like D&D, the video game. I also just love like the team behind them because they don't give a shit about stating their opinion. Like the Randy Pitchford, the guy in charge that's like the spokesperson and runs the company that makes like the Borderlands games and everything. Said the other day because somebody asked him like, oh, is Borderlands going to be $80? Because that is something that we're looking at in video games now. And he's like, well, if it is $80, true fans of the franchise will find a way to buy it. Which is I don't know why you would say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
One of the leads of Larian Studios who made Baldur's Gate 3 called him out and said that was a disgusting comment. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. No, because I think that is something that I found very interesting. Nintendo is getting roasted for the Switch 2 stuff.
Yeah.
And good. For perspective, the Switch 2, while it is, the handheld slash the home console thing is cool, it's not a novelty anymore. You've already set an establishment. And it's the same price as a PS5, but for less power in your system.
And currently less games.
Yeah, but don't you want to pay $90 for Mario Kart, Robert?
No thanks.
Noah, days yawn, y'all putting me to sleep. Wake up, Noah.
Oh my god.
No, I think you just got that sleeping disease.
Why you gotta be a hater?
Noah, it's a work camp.
Noah, what are your thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday delay and if it'll affect Spider-Man Brand New Day, your most anticipated film of 2026?
Don't answer that. Just what are your thoughts on Avengers Doomsday?
No answer at all. We need the comments. He says he got the sleepy virus.
You fucking bastard.
Well, don't next time.
Wait, have I not been in here? Oh yeah, because this is the.
Noah said he doesn't care about either movie. It's the internet, Noah. You're supposed to have an opinion on everything. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what the fuck, Noah?
You're supposed to be excited or outraged, and there can be no in between.
Oh, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit.
Haven't you ever been on the internet?
Look, it's a sleeping simulator, Noah. This game was made for you.
Should do it.
Now that it's daytime, hopefully that means the hordes will not be. Yeah, why are the lights so?
It doesn't look too bad.
Does Buff have those scratches?
Oh, and there's fuel right here.
Fuel can.
Thank God these are limitless.
Oh, here we go. That's it.
So, John, after our review tomorrow, have you decided what you're gonna make me and or Noah watch next?
So I went back and watched the end of our stepfather review to see if I brought it up there, but I didn't. It must have been off camera because it's still driving me nuts. I mentioned a movie and neither of you had seen it, and now I can't think of what it was. And I'm guessing you don't remember.
Nope.
So I've got a couple ideas because I mean I've already told you. Uh, Hannibal Rising is now on Peacock. That would be interesting.
Oh boy.
You know what? A shooting gallery. It's a rifle,
I've never seen it.
not a gun. I was in the
Yeah.
Taking coke. Don't give me any Marine Corps bullshit. Killing a buck's
What's
a
wrong with
little
this
more
guy's
than a man.
face?
Or a freak.
You can't just ask what's wrong with people's face, Noah or Robert.
My name's not Noah.
I was reading the
Yeah,
chat
Noah.
as I
Why'd
said
you-
that.
Yeah,
I
Noah,
wish I
why'd
could-
you say that?
Noah,
That's so
I wish I could
insensitive.
fill up my car by pressing the circle button. You can. I didn't know. I don't know if you knew this. One second.
Track the deer.
All right. Tracking. Have you ever been hunting?
No. I can't say that I've shot guns before, but I've never been hunting.
Do you think that this is how hunting always happens? You push a button and then you see like the specter of the thing you're hunting.
Yeah,
Yes.
I see it. They lead this way. Yeah, I can see that.
Noah, do you know how weird it would be if the only Hannibal movies I've seen are Silence, Manhunter, and Hannibal Rising? I mean, that's all you need to see. Tyler, what's your most anticipated horror film of the year?
There's your buck. I see him.
God, I don't.
Use my rifle. If you were in the
I
Robert,
mean,
is
by
there
default,
anything big? I don't think there's any like big horror movies scheduled for this year.
I know how to use a scope.
well, by default, I guess it's for
Easy.
me Final Destination Bloodlines now, just because I heard it's great and I still need to watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So Sinners, I guess, is one.
Sinners, I'd say, was my most anticipated of the year. I really liked it.
Practice.
And 28 years later looks cool. I'd call
Oh
it the end
yeah,
of it.
28 years later. I keep forgetting that's coming out this year. What?
Yeah, and Final Destination Bloodlines is out, but I still need to see it.
Yep, I will be waiting for a video on demand.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna watch Until Dawn tomorrow. Yay!
Woo!
For
Oh,
that,
that's a good one, Tyler. He thinks Weapons looks good. Weapons is a great trailer. I don't know how
I
that
don't know
movie's
what
gonna
that
be.
is.
The teaser was really cool. It's Weapons. I think it's from the guy who made Barbarian. I think it's his next movie.
Oh,
So
okay. I'm excited
yeah,
just based on that. Barbarian was awesome.
which I still need to see.
Is that is that his next movie? I thought he was doing Resident Evil, or maybe that's after.
That must be after. That hasn't started shooting yet. Weapons is already made. But yeah, the setup is like it's like a small town horror movie where all the kids in one class at the school just disappear overnight, and then it's like the fallout after that where the people start turning on like the teacher, like, oh well, she must know what's going on. Why was it her students that all vanished? So it looks like kind of a town horror movie, and at least based on the trailer, it looks like it also goes shit
Fuck
in lots of different
yes.
directions, which is what I heard Barbarian does. So
Oh, you haven't seen Barbarian,
I have not.
dude?
Put it
Okay,
on the list.
you better believe it. Okay, why don't you pull up a list of 2025 horror films just so we can see what else is coming out? Because I'm not thinking of any. While you do that, Noah says the one with Allison Brie and Dave Franco looks good. The one that are getting sued for plagiarism.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's bullshit or not. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But the trailer's great. Yeah, it's called Together. It looks like it could be this year's big body horror picture. So it looks cool, but whether that lawsuit has any weight to it or not, I do not know.
Here, thanks. Like I said, Deke.
Yeah, Together.
I can always use more venison at the camp. Still got some folks trying to heal up from that Ripper attack. Okay, Cope. Yeah, I'll see if I can remember that.
Barbarian is peak. It is peak. Anime, hi, and hope that you're having fun. I am. What's going on, man?
Oh, Megan 2.0 is coming out in June. I know you're hyped for that.
I also have seen Terminator 2. What a weird leap, right? The first one is like a shitty Child's Play knockoff, and now we're at Terminator.
I didn't think I'd see you
Why
around so
not?
much. Just looking.
Bring some bounties in?
Oh yeah, I know what you did last summer.
Cool. Looks like you've been busy.
Sequels coming out in
Yeah.
July.
The soft
Okay.
reboot everyone was asking for.
He won't say it, but he appreciates it. What's up, Manny?
Yeah, this is so far kind of a weird year for horror films. Like there have been some good ones and some cool looking ones coming out. It's probably still not going to be as strong as last year was.
This has been a weird year in general for films. Like, there's been one or two that look really good, and I want to see. but I feel like I'm just waiting for Superman. Like,
Yeah, Superman's kind of beating everything for me right now. Again, 28 years later, it looks really cool. I just keep forgetting about it for some reason.
yeah,
And
I don't want to get hyped for that movie. It has a lot of the red flags. You know, it's been in development hell for years. It's a decades later sequel. I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical.
yeah. But also, people say Final Destination Bloodlines is great. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
finally
that
watching
I'm
that.
excited for that.
The Toxic Avenger remake's coming out in
Oh
August.
yeah, that finally got a release. We should do something on the original, the one that is coming out.
See you, booze man.
Yeah.
Now I just gotta find some.
Oh, and then we got shit like The Conjuring Last Rites is coming out in September.
You must be so excited.
The epic finale to the Conjuring franchise.
Bullshit.
We got here. Oh god. The Strangest Chapter 2 comes out this September.
I still haven't even seen chapter 1.
I haven't either. I probably should.
You should go watch
The
chapter
channel.
2 without context.
God, that would be funny.
Because like, my thing is because it's just funny to me that everybody was complaining about how bad that remake is. Or I don't know, is it a remake or whatever?
Reboot.
Yeah, I finally watched the original and it also kind of sucks. So like, I don't know what you people expected.
Divisive. Yeah, October looks real bland for this year.
Shit. Which is weird.
Uh,
You'd think some studio would have something.
Because usually, I guess the big one we're getting is the Black Phone 2 is this October. I keep forgetting about that.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I like the Black Phone a lot. I don't know what you do with a sequel to that.
Noah has not seen Toxic Avenger. Oh, good. And then
Ooh.
Tyler, I saw the trailer for Conjuring 4 and it looked better than the third one. I mean, if that's the fucking bar that we're at. Conjuring 3 might be one of the worst things I've ever had to sit through.
Oh god. I don't think I've ever seen a single Conjuring movie,
if
if you can believe it.
I have been forced to watch it with all three of. Well, I watched the first two because my friend was like, we were doing like a movie night, and that's what they picked. And the minute they picked it, I had like an existential crisis because I was like, oh god, I don't want to watch these. And then I watched 3 because it was a new movie that year, and that was the year that they were like, everything is coming to Max day 1. Like,
Yep.
sure. And then I regretted it.
So, and then in December we got Five Nights at Freddy's 2
Noah's most anticipated film.
and the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. We'll
That-
see how that
what?
goes.
That's a thing?
Oh, you didn't hear about that? Yeah, we got another Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. Yeah, that's coming out this December.
Why?
Why not?
Stop it.
John, you don't understand. There are 2 Black Christmas remakes. We need 2 Silent Night, Deadly Night remakes. To
Oh,
balance
God.
the scales.
What if this one is the Black Christmas 2019 of Silent Night, Deadly Night movies?
Oh God, it could be. Get hyped.
I know you're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
This will be the one that Noah's like, yep, that movie was deep.
This is the one that turns him around. And you know that first remake or reboot that has nothing to do with the original. I like it more than most. It's a fun. It's a fun. Slasher movie.
That's the kind of remake that I can take on its own terms because it's so far removed from what the original is. Fuck.
Hi. Oh, and the other big one I missed, of course, is we got Predator Badlands coming in November.
Oh, that might be
That's the big one.
well, and Killer of Killers,
Yeah, and that's right around the corner.
and I
So,
think
like I
both of
said,
those are on my anticipated list. Prey was so good that like I'll
yeah,
watch. Tyler, we need just one more garbage day. No, no,
that's
no. Because here's the
yeah,
thing.
that movie probably will do that.
Here's the thing. Anything that does that now is just going to be trying to recreate that, and it's not going to be as good because what makes that so good in two is it is completely authentic. Like they have no
Making
idea
it
what they're
scary.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's cool stuff coming out this year that I'm interested. You just kind of got to sift through the Conjuring 4s and Strangers Chapter 2s and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like there's just a lot of stuff you have to sift through.
Well, what's really funny, Robert, I was telling I think you and Noah both about this. We had three completely unrelated Popeye horror movies this year.
That's true. Because why not? Yeah, what Poonaverse movies do we got to look forward to this year?
There's
I
that
didn't see any of those listed.
the Bambi one. I saw a trailer for that the other day. When are we going to start covering the Poonaverse?
Oh, okay, yeah, Bambi's coming out in July, I guess. We'll wait for a few more to come out, and then we'll marathon all of them. We'll dedicate a
Noah,
whole month on the channel to them.
So Silent Night, Deadly Night is 2025 is the new Nightmare 2010. Oh God,
Oh,
only Noah would be excited for that. Tyler says he thinks Peter Pan comes out this
I think it already
year.
came out.
Huh. I don't know.
I think that came out like in February.
Hold on, I've missed anime's comments. He caught up on the Smallville streams, and he thinks they're really good. Thank you. I wish that Pete was in the later seasons so you could talk about him a lot like he did in the early seasons. I don't know if we talked about him a lot because he's barely in them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's.
Well, at least you got his epic return in season 7.
Oh God,
The best episode you could have asked for.
we love gum commercials.
Oh.
Okay, so you weren't there for that episode, and I don't know if Cap heard. I don't remember if Cap responded or not. Uh, do you remember what brand of gum that episode is basically a commercial for?
I do not.
I think it's Stride, the one that comes in the little cardboard with the big S on the front. I was like, come on.
That's amazing. What was the this is what happens when you chew this gum commercial?
That's Five Gun.
That's Five
This is
Gun.
what, this is
Why
what
couldn't
it feels.
Five Gun
This is what it
sponsor
feels like to chew Five Gun.
with laced with kryptonite?
Yeah.
Turns you into a fucking crypto freak.
Ironically, the talk about Pete being forgettable helped anime remember him. Well, I'm glad I could help.
Are you surprised he's one we didn't get back for the final season? Like, at all? Or was he already getting into legal trouble at that point?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised because that's what's weird is the last season does the big high school reunion episode, but their big get is the bug guy.
Yeah. Well, he's at the start of the show.
Do you remember the bug
Full
guy?
circle.
No, the first time I watched that episode, I was like, I don't remember who this is.
come carry on yourself?
Only animals can become carrion, Corporal, not humans. You guys checked the perimeter, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
Would have been funny if Pete got his own show. There wouldn't have been a plot. It would just been this guy. Um, that is something that like Superman doesn't often do in adaptations, right? Like, is there a definitive adaptation of Pete Ross?
Definitive, I wouldn't say so. You know, he's gets like a cameo in Man of Steel. That's kind of it.
You know what would have been really funny is in the final season if they manage to bring him back and he's just is his comic book counterpart. He marries Lana.
That would have been great.
I'm shocked the comics didn't do that. The Smallville comics.
Yeah. Well, that's the other baffling one is that they didn't get Kristen Krug back like at all. Not even the series finale. I wonder
Well,
if they
that's
ever talked about that.
yeah. I mean, maybe. I think the problem is what do you do because you've written her off. Whoa. Hello.
Hey,
Uh,
what's up?
you kind of wrote her off definitively. She cannot be anywhere near Clark Kent.
He could have done a video message. Another video message.
Yeah, I don't know. For the finale, I was fine with it just being Lex. Like what they do with Lex is dumb, but I was glad to see him there.
Yeah. No, it was a big deal that he came back for that. Noah says the show is Clark's best pal, Pete Ross.
Yeah.
Look at this, where you poor son of a bitch. At least you weren't torn apart by freaks. If you lived a few more weeks, you might have become one yourself. Now, whether that been something. What do you want? Stay back.
I just want to talk.
Nero Protocol 2-7 states clearly that if conducting operations in quarantine zones, if I encounter any civilians or civilians, that I'm forbidden from making contact.
Really? See, that sounded to me like making contact.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, it did.
You're alive.
Yes. I am.
How? How are you alive,
What?
O'Brien?
I don't understand.
Okay. You were there. That night. Farewell. The next night, refugee
Nero
camp.
Protocol
The
2-7
churches were
states
burning.
that
Everyone was dead. They were slaughtered.
Brian, shut up.
Goddamn limb. All right, listen up. We're gonna do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way, we have a little chat. You give me the information that I need, and then you go back to digging your way through freaker shit or whatever the hell else you're doing out here. The hard way. I crack open that little spacesuit, and then we see what your friends out there have to say about you breathing in all this contaminated air. So what's it gonna be, O'Brien?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
You remember the rooftop of the old brewery. I put a woman on your chopper. She was wounded.
Yes. I remember a knife wound. She was cut pretty bad.
I went to the refugee camp that you said you were taking her to. Everyone was dead, so I'm going to ask you again. How did you survive?
We weren't there. We were diverted south to another camp. Like you said, camp in Belknap was overrun, so they moved us south to a camp outside of Silver Lake.
Were there survivors?
You mean now? I don't know. I was transferred to the research unit.
Did she survive?
Oh, wait. I can find out. I can check. You have one of our radios. That's how you... I can't promise anything, but I'll check.
Uh-huh, and I'm going to go with you.
No,
Come on.
you can't. Please, you don't... Hey, you don't
I
understand.
think that's how that works, Deacon.
I'll shoot you.
Okay, look, you're gonna have to kill me do it, okay? I did my job. Did that woman your wife? I put her on oxygen, I gave her an IV. I kept her alive. I got in a lot of trouble for that. She was septic, she wasn't gonna make it, but I got her to the mass unit. I saved her goddamn life.
O'Brien, report.
I have to go. Please, you have to to get out of here. You don't know these men. You'll know what they're capable of.
If I don't hear from you, I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna track you down. And I'm gonna do a lot worse than snap off an antenna.
I'm sorry about your wife. But you're not the only one who lost someone that night.
Well,
Back to square one.
you gotta leave.
Getting low on meat.
Why is my bike all the way over there?
O'Brien. He's alive. How the hell is he alive? They were diverted south.
Why are you asking yourself questions that you then answer?
She wasn't gonna make it, but he got into a mass unit. He saved her life. She can still be. No.
Ow! What?
Yeah, that should be dead. Yeah, that's what you get. There's just a wolf behind you while you're doing that. You happy now?
Yeah. Anime, I don't actually dislike Alana Lang. I think she's a solid character in Smallville. Oh shit. I think it depends on what season you're watching.
Yeah, they just didn't know what to do with her season to season. They keep jerking her around in different directions.
Because like I think the one thing I do like about season 7 is you finally get the payoff, for Clark and Lana. But it's we got together too late. Like, we are fundamentally different people. The problem is it's so back and forth on whether or not they are actually different people or not.
Yeah. Clark, he's kind of the same guy.
No, but I mean, like, Lana has changed, like, fundamentally, and they're both kind of in denial. The problem is every time they raise that idea, like, she liked being with Bizarro more because he didn't have that moral code that Clark has. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They just, he apologizes and then they pretend it never happened. And then I think the worst part is they don't actually break up. She just disappears.
Yeah. Well, that season is real into just writing off the female characters in weird ways.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we don't know what to do with her.
Well, I think they knew that
Try
Kurik wasn't
amnesia.
coming. I think they knew Kurik wasn't coming back, but they didn't have time to do everything they probably wanted to do. So they're like, yeah, we'll let whoever comes in after deal with this. Deacon, it's been 5 seconds. Calm down.
What do you think is the better outcome for that character? How we originally write her out in 7, or how we write her out for real in 8?
For me personally, how we actually write her out. If that video message was the last you see of her, I would have been upset. It's so vague and like cliffhangery. And I don't hate how we write her off for real. I don't know. That's the melodrama that I like in Smallville. If you're gonna be melodramatic, at least go over the top.
Do you think it would have hit stronger though if we had actual Michael Rosenbaum Lex there to facilitate it?
Yeah, I do think it still hits just because Like, I think that's part of why I like it. Is I think it's some of the best acting that Welling and Kruick have together.
Yeah, they're both good.
Because that I think this is what I how I ended up selling Cap. Is I think Welling is most at his best when he's working with Rosenbaum and Durance.
Yeah.
Like half the time he just seems really bored working with Kruick, and I think it's just the material that he's given. So when you get something honest to God like a goodbye, him and Kruick are actually, say it with me, acting.
Well, and I think Erica Drance's Lois is way more likable than Crook's Lana,
She's my favorite Lois.
and that's not Crook's fault. That's
No.
the writing and direction. But with Erica Drance, I don't know. Is there do you think there's a bad Lois season in that show, or is she always solid? I don't think I ever dislike her in that show.
No, I think she's always solid, but I think that's Durance just has a like chemistry and like an energy to her that is missing from some of the side characters.
Yeah. Even Jimmy, who we agree is well cast, is horrible in that show.
I hate him.
He's so bad.
Tyler, someone who has never seen the show but wants to one day, do you recommend watching the whole show, or is there a good point where it drops off? I mean, if you're gonna watch it, just watch it, like, because it's. The problem is I could point to any season that I don't like oh, season 5 is a drop off, but then I think season 6 is pretty good. Season 7 kind of sucks, but I like 8, 9, and 8 and 9. 10 isn't great, but it's the final season, so there's no point stopping at the final season. Just
yeah.
There's not like a perfect answer.
A lot of people dropped off after 7 just because Rosenbaum was out, which is a shame because I think 8's pretty good.
8's pretty good. I think 9 is better because I think 9 has a legitimately pretty good A plot, which is 8 is missing. Because I like their Zod. It's kind of a repeat of the Lex stuff, but condensed into a season. But it works.
Yeah, but Tyler, back to your question. I'd say if you're ever in the mood for it, just give the pilot a shot and go from there. I think you'll know a couple episodes in if it's your thing or not.
Yeah.
If you want to bother with it. I was a big fan of that show back in the day.
It is going to be
as a teenager, I was the right age for it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had this, but one thing that I'm having with the new Superman trailers is there's kind of a bittersweet oh, this could dethrone Smallville for my favorite, like Lex and Lois.
Yeah.
It only took them 20 years after that show, but we're here.
Well, and I expect Nicholas Holt's Lex to have a very different backstory for Rosenbaum's, like the Clark stuff. I don't think any of that's going to be in there.
No.
But I think a lot of what worked with that take, I think we're going to get in this movie.
Yeah.
He just looks so classic Lex. He looks like he's just nailing just the pure hatred and jealousy.
I was sold on that line where he's like, I don't remember the exact line, but he's basically like, Superman's not a he, he's an it.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that is just comic book Lex.
Yeah.
And one thing I appreciate about Gunn that I think only you, me, and Cap care about is there is Smallville references. Like it's LexCorp, which is a Smallville thing.
No, you mean Luthor Court.
No. Yes. Sorry. I get those two mixed up. I can never remember.
I don't think Lionel will be in the movie, but he could be mentioned.
I
do
so.
think that side of Lex's character in Smallville could be informing this version. Like,
I think the dad twist is I think the dad thing is a really brilliant twist. And I don't know if you've ever had this thought, but it's really interesting because then Snyder also tried that.
He did. Yeah. It's kind of in there, but not enough.
No.
It's just mentioned twice.
there is a really interesting kind of uh, through line there because when he's summoning Doomsday, he has that line of like, nobody ever came from the sky to deliver me from my father's fists or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think there's an interesting idea of like this is an abuse victim who's angry that Superman wasn't there to save him from him. Someone like Superman wasn't there to save him.
Yeah.
But it's all subtext. But no, it's just interesting if this is also a Lex that is influenced by his father and had this complicated relationship. It's like we keep doing this. Anime fan, I love Lex Luthor been showing up too often. It would have been great to have Lionel be the main villain. What do you mean too often? We've had one Superman, two Superman things since Smallville ended in live action, and he's he's in them, but I mean he's not all over them.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. He's Superman's arch nemesis.
Yeah, that would be like making a
Combined with starting
Spider-Man.
Flex.
That would be like making a Spider-Man thing where the Green Goblin doesn't exist,
Oh.
or a Batman where the Joker doesn't exist. That will never happen.
Yeah. Also, in my opinion, there aren't a lot of good Lex Luthors.
No, that's
in
the other
media,
thing.
so
In
this is
at
pretty
least in
good.
live action, there's a reason that Rosenbaum is still the definitive one. Yes, he's good, but it's also because he's the only one. Well, I can't say that because I haven't seen because I know Cap swears up and down by the Lois and Clark one, and I
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen
true.
I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen. Um, there's another one, isn't there? Oh, I haven't seen him in Superman and Lois.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that Lex yet.
That's weird casting, but thank
That
God
is
it was.
weird casting, but I'm looking forward
Thank
to
God it wasn't John Cryer.
it.
God, he was insufferable in that Crisis crossover.
At least he was having fun.
Mike Rosenbaum did a very good job, but he's not the definitive Lex Luthor. Let me guess. Your definitive live action is Hackman.
Yeah, and I like Hackman. You know, he's classic Silver Age Lex.
Yeah, and I don't like that take.
Yeah, that's fair. That's classic Lex.
Yeah, I mean, I
Rosenbaum
don't
is
have
just
a
very
bad thing to
modern
say
maneuver.
about him, like as a performance or anything. It's just that's fundamentally not how I see Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but I hope Nicholas Holtz is pretty definitive.
Yeah. Well, and because we know that Gunn has a healthy, like a deep respect for Rosenbaum's take.
Yeah.
Oh, anime fan says Kevin Spacey was just emulating Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I think Kevin Spacey is just Hackman's but worse. I mean,
Yeah.
controversies aside, I think Kevin Spacey could have been a great
I think
Lex.
Kevin Spacey,
I
if you
think
gave
credit.
him a better script, could have been the best Lex Luthor. The problem is that it's Superman Returns and he's stuck having to do an impression of Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn
Yeah,
it.
Anime Fan also said that they should have made Jimmy Olsen a villain. Well, in Smallville, he pretty much is. I think the showrunners just don't realize it.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it. Powers off. Figures.
Do I have to?
In any other, if he was any other character, he'd be a crypto freak villain who would become a murderer and defeated by the end of the episode. But it's Jimmy, so he's just always around until he's not.
Anime fan says Superman Returns is his favorite piece of Superman media of all time. So I'm guessing he guesses a hot take. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
little
you can
bit.
say that. That movie doesn't even
It,
have like a reputation. Like it was a disappointment when it came out. It didn't make a lot of money. Didn't get amazing reviews, and it was just kind of forgotten. Like
yeah, no, like I remember being super excited for that movie. I hadn't even seen the Reeves movies at that point, but I was like, I was a Smallville fan, So I was like, oh, they're making a Superman movie. No, it's Superman Returns talk about things that make me sleepy. Yeah, I think it came and went. Like,
yeah,
yeah, that
and
existed.
then
I think its
the
biggest
sequel
legacy is
plans were
just a.
baffling.
Yeah, I think its biggest legacy is just the comic book fans because it not only derailed the Superman film franchise, it arguably also derailed the X-Men film franchise.
Yeah, that's true. I was very hyped for it when I was a kid. It was so exciting that a new Superman movie was coming out, and like I remember kind of liking it, and then watching it like twice on DVD, and then I just didn't go back to it for years and years and years. Like when you're a kid, you don't like articulate like, oh, this was disappointing, or oh, I have mixed. You know how when you're a kid, you just like stop watching things you're not crazy about, but like you don't give a lot of thought to it.
Let's see if it still works.
It's one of those situations for me where I wouldn't say at the time it disappointed me. It's just a movie I was very hyped for, watched a few times, and then never went back to.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah, and I don't even know when the last time I've seen that movie is.
This is Ada Tucker. Alki wanted me to tell you that the camp is thankful for all the work you're
Micro
doing.
recorder. Let's see.
We need all the help we can get.
Let go me! God damn it, I said let go! Ma'am, you must
Oh god.
return to your vehicle. We will get to you. Had been here for 12 hours. I've got 2 sick children in the back. We need... We don't have any water. We just need a little bit of water. Ma'am, you must return to your vehicle now. Eddie, you got some bottled water? Give it to her. All we got left. Give it to her.
Thank you.
Okay. Go back to your vehicle.
Yes.
Letting more through very soon. Please.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Look. What's going on? What's wrong? I lied to her. What? They're not letting anyone
Anime fan thinks that Superman Returns is a beautiful tribute to the old movies. He respects it for not trying to be a hip reboot, and instead was a sentimental gift to the fans. Yeah, but
Oh, Jesus Christ.
clearly it was divisive.
I don't know if you can call it a gift to the fans when the fans didn't like it.
Backed up at
Yeah,
these
well,
points.
but it's to fans of those movies and not, the comic character,
Yeah.
which isn't inherently bad, but
But also, at some point, when you're a sentimental tribute to a specific movie, there's a fine line between tribute and
I gotta finish brushing
just
this.
remaking that movie.
right, you run into that issue of like, well, why would I watch the tribute when I can just watch the movie
Yeah, like
that it's
I know,
attributing?
I don't know about anime. I think Anime said he's not, and I know you're not. But when I think of tribute, I think of something like Power Rangers Dino Thunder, which, damn it,
You should be dead.
yeah, which is a tribute to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. By there's some plot beats are the same. The evil ranger, but it tells its own story. But there's little nods and references to that original season for people who know that material. But it can also just be watched as its own season.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring Tommy back, but he's a mentor now. All right, Robert, we got to find nests.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, we can go get guns.
Lots of guns. And anime fan just said that Superman Returns got better reviews than Man of Steel. Yeah, but not
Is
by
it
like a
true?
lot. Like that's technically true. But Man of Steel was a polarizing movie. A lot of people loved it and a lot of people hated it. I think a lot of people with Returns were like, it's fine.
It exists.
Again, I'm generalizing,
Uh,
but
so just because this is the only way we have to compare them, out of curiosity, Robert, what is each one's Rotten Tomato score?
yeah, I'll look that up. But if you're wondering, well, why did Man of Steel get a sequel and not Returns? The answer is Man of Steel made more money. That is, Man of Steel made like twice as much money as Returns did. So, and that is an indisputable fact. The studio will always favor box office over critical appraisal, whether you agree with that or not. Yeah, I mean it's what I expected. Returns has a 74% of Rotten Tomatoes,
Oh,
7 out of 10 average. Like it was not a hated movie when it came out. I just across the board, most people were like, "It's fine."
still,
And on
that seems really high for a movie that where nothing happens.
and I mean on Cinema Score, which I don't care about at all. So just it got a B plus, which for Cinema Score is not great. It's not horrible, but it's not because the way Cinema Score works, it's you're pulling people who are going to see movie like opening weekend or something. So you're pulling people who are excited for the movie, right? The people go on opening weekend, like the fans, and most of those reactions you expect and like an A or an A plus. You know, so if you get anything below an A, it's considered not amazing. Which again, I don't agree with this metric system at all. I don't care. It's just worth pointing out.
Tyler and Anime are both pointing out that Returns made more money than Begins.
Only by a little. It also cost a lot more money than Begins. People always leave that out. Begins was profitable.
Yeah, Begins also had a lot less like advertising.
Yeah.
Begins was a sleeper hit.
Yeah, and again, not a huge hit. Just it was a modest.
Because you also have to
success,
remember,
and
Batman's reputation on screen was in the toilet.
yeah,
Regardless of your feelings about Batman and Robin, it tanked the entire franchise.
yeah. And arguably, that actually the current state of those franchises was actually more in Superman's defense. Because Superman, we hadn't had a movie in almost 20 years, and people were excited for a new Superman movie. Batman and Robin was still fresh in people's minds. Like, you had to win people over on that. But yeah, like, for context, Superman Returns cost over $200 million. It made 391. Like, it didn't really,
Oh, that
it
didn't
did
even
not
make its
do
money
great.
back.
Yeah. Batman Begins only cost 150 million and made 373. So
I know which one a studio is going to be more pleased with.
yes, yeah, exactly. Superman Returns technically made a little more, but Batman Begins was actually profitable and had better reviews on time. Again, I'm going to contradict myself a minute ago where I said box office is always going to trump studios than um, critical reviews, but they're still a factor.
Use everything.
And then Man of Steel was just a polarizing movie across the board. A lot of people loved it, and a lot of people hated it.
I'm in the camp that love it. It's probably my favorite Superman movie. I don't know.
I like it's got a couple major missteps for me, but I do like
It's not perfect, but I mean, I don't. That's the thing is, for my personal interest in what Superman is, there isn't a perfect Superman movie.
And then to your earlier question, Man of Steel has a 57% Rotten Tomatoes with an average 6.2 out of 10.
Oof.
But an average 6.2 out of 10 isn't that different than the average 7 out of 10 that Returns had. you know.
Tyler, what do you think Superman 2025 will make? Somewhere between $1 and a few $1,000,000.
Somewhere between $1 and $2 billion. I'm very confident it'll be between
Yeah.
those two numbers. Yeah, and Man of Steel made $670 million. So even though the reaction wasn't what they wanted, it still made enough money to justify doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, the Marvel and DC Marshlands in the live chat. How's it going?
Oh, how's it going, man? Yeah, I saw that, but you were in the middle of the sentence. I forgot to get back
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
fine. Yeah, I don't. We'll see what the box office projections are like. It's hard to say how good Superman will do. I could, if it makes at least $600 million, like that's a win. That's a big
Do
win.
we know what the budget is?
I don't think we know what the budget. We also know it's not astronomical, because there was a rumor at one point that they were putting like $300 million into it, and James Gunn responded to that rumor like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We're not getting that kind of money for this." So yeah, we don't have a purported budget yet, but it's probably around 200 million.
Yeah, I mean, James Gunn is good with like CGI and shit, so I don't think it'll be like we won't need billions
Yeah,
wasted to get these things done. Which has been Marvel's problem, where they change their mind halfway through, and then waste millions and millions of dollars on pointless CGI shots.
yeah. No, so far with these DC movies, are at least taking their time.
Yeah.
Supergirl's already done, and now they have like a year of post on that movie.
Yeah. Isn't that shocking?
Which is good and should be the norm.
Versus Fantastic Four that was done after Superman but comes out at the same time.
Yep. Thanks, Disney.
Uh,
But yeah, Superman. Okay, here's the thing: if you're on the internet, if that movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's a failure.
yeah, this is gonna be the Batman all over again, right? Because the Batman made a modest profit, but it didn't cross the $1 billion club. So like, oh, it's a flop. What?
Yeah, it made over $700 million. Like,
And was mostly well liked.
yeah, by every metric, it was a success. So whether you, as an individual, like the movie or not, it was a success. It was a hit. And with Superman, I'm sure they're hoping for the same thing. Like, if this movie makes at least, let's say, $650 million, that's a win. That's then the DCU's starting strong. Anything more than that's just extra profit and a bigger win. But it doesn't need to make $1 billion to be successful.
Oh, it says they're
People need to
reshooting the
understand.
ending of Fantastic Four right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw that rumor. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but yeah.
If that is
That's
true,
out.
that is insane. That movie comes out in what, like 2 months?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be the first for Marvel though? Like that this has
I
happened
don't
before.
I don't know what is going on over there, but they need to get their shit together.
Yeah. The Marvel and DC Marshlands just said he's cautiously optimistic for Superman. He just hopes it's not overstuffed with too many characters. That's fair. That's a concern a lot of people have. It just
Trust
depends on
Gunn.
how they're handled in the story. Yeah.
He's made nothing but ensemble movies, and I don't think he's made it bad.
Yeah, I agree. This also isn't like a team movie like his other ensemble movies. It's still a Superman movie first and foremost. At least that's what he said. As long as Superman himself isn't lost in his own movie, I think it'll be fine.
Like
And
Shang-Chi.
based on yeah, but based
I
on
don't,
the trailers, I'm not really worried about that.
yeah. 'Cause, like, I don't hate that movie, but by the end, I don't even know who the main character is.
Yeah, well, it was at the start of Marvel's trend, like of the MCU era of, hey, in this movie slash show, we're introducing this new protagonist who's going to be one of our new pillars. We're going to be introducing another new character at the
I
same
mean,
fucking time.
that starts with Black Widow.
That does start with Black Widow.
Because, like,
Look,
I think it was actually smart to introduce Yelena there. But then
yeah.
you also introduce David Harbour and Rachel Wise. I don't even remember who the hell Rachel Wise is playing.
She's like the mom in that dynamic.
Yeah.
And yeah, that character's just gone now.
Yeah. There's one more
But like,
nest. Robert, if you were a nest, where would you be?
ooh, probably in a tree somewhere.
No, not that kind of
Mm.
nest. A zombie nest.
Oh.
Oh, wait a
Anime
minute, it's
fans
marked.
Anime fan said he hopes the 2005 Fantastic Four show up. Don't count on that for this movie, but I'd be shocked if at least one of them doesn't show up in Doomsday at this point.
I am a little disappointed that that Fantastic Four is coming out so soon. Just because it was kind of funny how they kept drip feeding like members of the FF, but like
Yeah.
different casts, different versions. I wish found a way to drip like put in like uh, the 2015's The Thing in a movie, and then Jessica Alba's Sue Storm somewhere.
Yeah, I love that.
And I
But
specifically
also,
want the 2015 version of the Thing because that would be really funny.
though, I think of that whole 2005 cast, I think Chickless would be the most likely for them to bring back. That people would actually be
Yeah.
excited about. I mean, it would probably be CGI. I doubt he'd be in a
I
costume.
I need them to bring back the shitty, barely functioning suit that he wears in those movies.
John, he's like 70 years old. He can't
It's
afford
fine. It's fine. He'll be okay.
that.
No, I would be excited if he came back.
Yeah.
He got a raw deal in those. I think he's legitimately great in those movies.
Oh yeah, he's great casting. And then this is more of a fan theory than a rumor, but bringing back Miles Teller as evil Reed Richards in something, I think could be fun.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
that's how you do the Maker.
Yeah, that's what fans want, and I'm like, sold. I'd be
That's just
cool with that.
because you can't even accuse them of like, oh, it's just fan cast multiverse bullshit. That is who that character is. He is the ultimate
Right.
Reed Richards.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if we don't get any Council of Reeds in some capacity in Doomsday or Secret Wars. But if you do the Maker at some point, just get Miles Teller.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I also wouldn't complain if it's whatever that guy's name is from 2005.
Yeah, but I think he probably would just be like a Council of Reeds cameo.
Yeah.
Nothing
Because I also
substantial.
think he's really good as Reed.
Yeah, he was good casting.
He more than I think any of the others just suffers from the movie's writing,
Yeah.
especially in two when everybody's just insufferable. No one wants the Thing
Yeah.
to just start screaming guilty for no reason. But that's a different franchise. Oh, I bet you it's over here.
Tyler said he really likes how the Batman and now James Gunn's Superman have very different styles and approaches. I agree. that type of variety is
Shocking.
what we want.
Shocking that a Batman movie doesn't look like a Superman movie. I know.
I think it just means that it's not like the homogenized MCU house style.
Yeah, I know. I'm just more
But
so making fun of the fact that that's where we're at. Well, they look different. So that's
but he also says he'd like them to cross over and be in the same universe.
I
Um,
I can't say that until I know what the Brave and the Bold looks like. Because the
yeah,
main thing, the problem with that is, I, as much as I would love that, because right now, Pattinson is kind of my definitive on-screen Batman, and it looks like Cornsweet or however you say his name, is kind of be the, yeah, is gonna be kind of the definitive on-screen Superman. Is I'm having a hard time seeing Superman existing in the world of the Batman,
mhm.
whereas where you don't have that. I don't think you'll have that same issue with the Brave and the Bold because they're going to be making that thinking, oh, this is in that same universe as Superman.
Right.
Where the fuck is this nest?
Have you tried looking underground?
This isn't one of those that I don't think you can go underground in these.
Oh,
I know it's bullshit. Oh wait a minute. Oh, wait, this is one I already. This is what I find annoying about this game. If I'm down to just one, can you just tell me where it's at? Like,
yeah. Are you saying you want the game to hold your hand, John?
yes.
Isn't exploring and backtracking and running in circles part of the gaming experience?
You're right. Damn.
And yeah, anime fan. That's just not how I see it. He just said to him, "There's little, if any, chance Christopher Reeve will ever be topped as the definitive Superman." I mean, I love Christopher Reeve, and I think he is definitive. That doesn't mean you can't also have good ones,
Also,
other good ones.
fuck, I don't know. Like, I respect Reeve. I like his take. I don't. I don't see him as definitive Superman. So like, I don't have that. I think we can do
And
better.
and whether we like Cord Sweat or not, I think we've had plenty of good Superman
We
actors
have
since. I like Tyler Hoechlin. I like Tom
Tyler
Welling. I like
Hecklin,
Henry
I
Cavill.
Welling, Henry Cavill.
I don't think there are any live action Superman actors I like hate. Um,
Uh,
not gonna get into Dean Kane's politics and
yeah,
controversies, but
I
no,
haven't
I like a Superman fine.
I haven't seen his.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, I don't know if there's been a bad live action Superman. I
But
just
and then
I also think we're so far past Reeves and like that character has changed in the 40 years since Reeves played him that there is an argument to be made he's no longer definitive because Superman has changed and grown.
yeah, well, you could say the same about Lex. You know, Hackman's portrayal.
But I don't like him either.
No, but I'm agreeing with you that
Yeah.
Hackman was a great Lex for that era, but Lex in the comics evolved into a very different character later.
Yeah. No, and that's always been my thing. It's just that's not the Lex that I know. I and part of that is just, I'm a 90s kid. We grew up on DCAU.
Yeah, those are pretty definitive. Yeah, my definitive Lex is Clancy Brown and Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorites.
Yeah. And that's the thing is we use definitive, at least I mean I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, when I'm saying definitive, I mean as of right now. I fully expect in 40 years there will be a new definitive because Superman will look completely different than he does now. Maybe. The way comics are going, it's hard to tell. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
I've already been in here, haven't I?
Anime fan just said, I'm just quoting him here. I don't know if I worded myself the best. I like several Superman actors, but Christopher Reeve is peak Superman, and it's borderline impossible to have an actor that'll make a bigger impact on people. And even if that never happens, like, I don't think that's a problem. Like, Superman has clearly been successful as a franchise with other portrayals in the last 30 years. Like, will there ever be a Superman that is as big as Reeve was? Well, probably
I
not,
could
but
see,
that's not a
I
bad
could
thing.
see it being corn sweet just because we're in this new we're in a very different time where being more Superman, like comic booky Superman, is embraced by the masses. Because here's the thing with saying that nobody will ever have the impact he did. I don't say this out of disrespect because I respect the hell out of those movies. If I showed that to a casual movie watcher now, they would think Superman the movie is awful and wouldn't care about Christopher Reeve.
No,
I just
that I don't agree with. I think it depends on the person.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm just saying in general, most modern audiences aren't going to care as much about that movie, or at least it's not going to have a profound effect on them. Is what I should say.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a movie that holds up fine,
I'm not
and
saying
I
it's a
think
bad
most
movie,
people
but
have.
I'm just saying modern audiences' tastes have changed.
Yeah, but I also think not all, but I think many modern audiences have historical perspective. I mean, Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back are still beloved, popular movies.
Yeah,
Um, and
somehow.
kids are still impressionable. Like, if you showed a 5-year-old today Superman the movie, would they get into it? Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I just well, it's hard
but
to tell, especially with today's generation. I don't think you can say, oh, nobody will ever capture imaginations like Reeve did, because I don't know. You know, I don't think a performance will always last forever. Like, yeah, Star Wars has held up, but I can't say it's because Mark Hamill's performance, even though he's good in those movies.
I don't know. But also back to my
Maybe I'm
point.
cynical, but
But also franchises like we're in an era, and maybe we'll get out of this, but we're in an era where everybody's so opinionated. Everybody has such a specific, like, well, this is my version. This is what I like. Like, everyone has an opinion on what Superman is and should be now.
yeah.
That it's hard to imagine a new version coming out that just works for everyone. You know what I mean? Um, and the context is just different. When Christopher Reeve's Superman the movie comes out, that is the first big budget Superman movie ever.
Yep.
Like, that's an event that can never be replicated
Nope.
because of how franchise filmmaking has evolved since then, because of movies like Superman and Star Wars. And I put this all out there to say I don't need a David Cornsweet or whoever to have like the pop culture zeitgeist impact that Christopher Reeve had. I don't think he needs to. I think the movie just needs to be good.
I- the
That's
only
all that
reason that
preamble's
I
for.
the only thing that I will argue with, I just think he does need to have some of that impact because this whole universe is going to rest on his shoulders.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's important that the movie is good and successful, but I think to say, oh, it needs to. I think if your mission statement is, oh, this has to top Christopher Reeve for everyone, like that's a faulty mission statement. um, Regardless of how much you care about those movies.
Yeah.
You just need to make the best movie and most honest movie you can.
That was the big thing that irritated me when Man of Steel was coming out. I don't know if you remember this. Everyone and their mother was like, "Well, this isn't how I remember Christopher Reeve, or this isn't the Christopher Reeve Superman." It's like,
Yeah,
no, because those movies came out 30, 40 years ago.
yeah. Um, I don't know. And you can have a definitive or a favorite and still be open to something new. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy is my favorite, and I think the best Batman voice actor. Will he ever be topped for me? Most likely, no. There are still other Batman voice actors I like that I think hold their own, and other versions that I think are worthwhile and worth watching. Just
Yeah,
because I
I
have a
like
definitive or
Bruce.
favorite version of something doesn't mean I can't enjoy another take.
Yeah, I like what's his name, Bruce Pinewood or Greenwood or
Bruce
uh,
Greenwood,
yeah, from Under the Red Hood. I like Jensen
I love him.
Ackles. The only Batman voice actor I haven't liked recently is whoever they got for those New 52 movies.
Yeah, what was his name? Jason O'Mara or something?
Yeah, he
That's because they
sucked.
kept bringing back. Yeah, he did like 10 of those.
And his Batman is just bland.
It's a very bland take. But perfect example of what I'm talking about, like Reno Romano in the Batman cartoon, I think is very good. I like that show a lot.
Yeah,
Does it top the animated series for me personally? No, I still think it's a very good show. And a worthwhile take on Batman.
yeah, yeah. And like for me, Tom Welling is one of my favorite Clark Kents. Could he be topped? Absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
I like his
and then
take.
yeah, and anime fans said if it wasn't for Christopher Reeve's Superman, none of the modern DC or Marvel films would exist. Yeah, and like I can agree with that and still say we've evolved and moved forward.
Yeah, that's the thing
Um,
is the medium evolves. You can respect you can respect the past, but you still have to embrace the future.
yeah, and again, it doesn't mean these have to top each other for me. It's just that we've also proved with Lois and Clark and Smallville and Superman and Lois and cartoons like My Adventures with Superman, we have also proved that other takes on this character can be popular and successful. Um, so all I'm saying is if you're going into a new one, like, well, this is better top the iconic classic for me, I think you're just going in with incorrect expectations, and you're not
Marvel and
judging the thing on
DC,
its own terms.
Marshland said they've actually never seen the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, you should check them
I'd
out.
be curious to see what you think.
Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry, my cat's interrupting me. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
How dare that bastard have a cat? Bruce Greenwood and Troy Baker, some of my favorite Batman voice actors, but Conrad. Yeah. I mean, I like Troy Baker, but I think that his biggest issue, or no, sorry, that's his Joker. No, his Batman is really good. I like his Joker too, but it's also just Hamill light. Okay, this is ridiculous. Yeah, only Noah can have a disruptive cat.
And I'm back.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have a disruptive cat. That's Noah's job.
That's true. Well, Noah's cat is pure evil, apparently.
Yeah, except when it's not.
You could say that about all evil things, though. It lures you in.
True. Not that one. Maybe it's this one. It looks like a nest, but it looks like I've already burned this one. Okay.
You're still looking for that nest.
Yeah, I pulled up like a map that shows where they're at. This is ridiculous.
It. I wonder if it's choices like these as to why this game wasn't a massive success.
Yeah. I like the idea of having to go clear out nests, but I feel like they should just maybe not right away, because like when there's 5, that's easy enough to find. But like when you get down to 1 or 2, just tell me where they're at.
Noah just said that his cat is currently hiding under his bed because it's thundering out, and now he feels bad for her.
You should throw it out in the lightning.
Though I do really want to screenshot that comment out of context because he just says she, not his cat. She's hiding under my bed because thundering out.
We'll start a new series, Noah taken out of context.
Yeah, and clearly that Brave and the Bold movie's kind of on hold right now. I don't even know if the movie's gonna end up being called that.
Yeah,
That
because they're
seems
not
to be
afraid
one
to
of the
change it.
That's true. I mean, I think that was a weird title to begin with. Yeah, for that story, if that's even how it. And I don't know, attaching Andy Muschietti that early on at this point, I'll be shocked if that still happens. Because that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we'll see. I appreciate that they're willing to take their time, but
Yeah, for sure.
because I was thinking, you just reminded me that like Superman at one point was called Superman Legacy.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure they're just waiting for Superman to come out and see how that does before they go full steam ahead on too many other projects.
Whoa, what was that music cue?
That was spooky.
Locked.
You know how irritated I'm going to be if it's in here and the compass was misleading me.
Well, maybe you should just go.
Gotta be right around here.
Yeah, look at that. It's telling me it's all the way over here, but the nest is right here. Fucking.
Do better, game.
get to our bike. We're gonna go over to the work camp. Uh, that's just how I'm gonna start saying it. What's going on in chat? Because Noah just said better than BBS. I don't know what he's talking about.
In anime fans' opinion, Andy Muschietti knocked it out of the park with The Flash, and he called it the best live-action DC film since Superman Returns, in his opinion.
Hey, I'm glad it worked for you. I never want to see that movie again.
I was very disappointed.
I've seen it 1.5 times, Robert.
We're both of us are also speaking as Snyder defenders. I expected to like that movie more than I did.
So it's funny because yeah, I'm a big Snyder defender, but like I don't know. I lost hope in that movie when Keaton was brought in. Uh,
That was always a weird choice.
yeah, because I was like,
I wouldn't say I was hyped for that movie. I just thought I'd think it was fine. I expected to be like okay with it, and some of the choices they made with it just
well, and that whole
really
universe
bothered
just
me.
like imploded after Snyder left. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah. Well, the Snyder cut was liked and kind of a big win, and okay, things might be turning around. And then the Flash just was such a huge failure that it was like, nope, this is done.
You know?
Shit. Wait a minute. Okay, Deke. You stay safe out in the shit. You hear me?
And yeah, it sucks we couldn't get a proper enough for Henry Cavill. Like that's annoying, but I'm hyped for James Gunn's Superman. So
Superman.
Superman.
How you doing, kid?
But like, I don't care about that Snyder universe anymore. Like, it's just
No,
kind of done
it's
for me at this point.
they ruined it. Like any interest I had, it imploded with the shitty like course correction that they did.
Yeah,
And granted, the his supposed plans, which I don't think at all were the plans when he was making those movies, also sound like nonsense. Uh,
yeah, yeah. His whole game plan he mapped out with Jim Lee that I was never that crazy about anyway.
yeah,
Right there. Good piece.
What I think they should make that for me would be exciting to get one more movie with Cavill, just because uh, I think Matthew Vaughn and other people have thrown this out there. An Elseworlds movie with Henry Cavill doing Superman Red Sun, I think could be really cool.
yeah,
And different. That would get me excited. In terms of Snyder's specific version, I just don't care anymore.
yeah.
But bringing Cavill back for an Elseworlds movie, I think could be cool.
Could be.
And would be in something like Red Sun would be entirely his own. You know, he'd do a Russian accent. That's fun.
That would be beautiful.
I see that as a win-win situation. Because they announced early on that they were going to do Elseworlds movies, and we haven't really gotten any confirmed, but I think it could be cool.
Yeah.
As long as they're proper Elseworlds movies that aren't meant to cross over. Just make standalone, disconnected projects.
Hey, Mercer. How's life?
We'll see how it goes.
How's it going? Had some time on my hands, made you some shit.
I would even be fine if you bring him in as like a villain for a movie.
I'll stop by later.
Like if the rumors aren't true and Ultraman's not in this movie, Make him Ultraman. Oh.
I think my issue with that is I think we're all just kind of sick of evil Superman right now.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, bringing Cavill back, but as evil Superman would be disappointing. That's not what Red Sun is.
Right.
I like what I like about Red Sun. It's not just Superman's Russian and evil. It's no, he's still Superman. He's just raised in a very different context and environment, but his goodness wins out at the end. You know,
I'd be
and
fascinated to see what response to that is, especially right now.
Yeah. I don't know. What are some Elseworlds? Do you have any Elseworlds pitches that you'd be excited about? If they said they were making movies, well, whether it's based on a comic or not.
Damn it, Tuck, you shouldn't have.
So there's a comic where Clark Kent, and they'll never do this. It's so niche. But there is a comic where the Waynes find Clark, and he becomes Batman. That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, is that Speeding Bullets?
Maybe I forget what the name of it is. Just that's something I know exists.
That could be neat.
And I don't want this now because the Flash, but a cool movie in the Flashpoint world would have been awesome.
Yeah. Dude, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne Batman. I would have loved that.
I don't even want a Flashpoint movie. I just want a Flashpoint world movie.
Yeah. No, for sure. Also, part of why I want Superman Red Sun is just because we have that horrible animated movie. And I'd like to see that story adapted well.
Yeah, which I have not read.
It's a good comic. It has a weird ending. Like, it's a comic that can be improved upon, but the animated movie we got was just atrocious. I don't know if it's worse than the Injustice movie, but they're probably about on par. They're both pretty terrible. Also, I like Gotham by Gaslight, and I think that could be a cool movie at some point.
Yeah, I like that animated movie more than most of it did.
Yeah, it's fine. I got some major issues with it, but it's decent. It's watchable.
I just don't know a lot of Elseworlds.
Yeah, for sure.
My mind more like I'm just thinking of like what ifs, like what if what if Batman was the Flash? I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Are you saying you don't want Dark Knight's Metal?
Not for a long ass time. DC milked that shit to death.
Does it bum you out though that didn't start until after Gotham ended? Imagine Gotham.
Yes.
Joker. They totally would have done that.
They totally would have. Oh, I'm so sad now. Never thought about that.
Because we did everything else. We did like New 52 Joker with the cut off face.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like 3 Jokers on that show.
I want the Gotham version of the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah. We could, if that show had lasted just a couple more seasons, we would have gotten it. Instead, we got Batwoman, the Red Death on the Flash.
Oh yeah, that's your favorite villain.
Yeah,
because they speak
like
only. Because she only speaks in other Batman lines.
That's true.
Get the fuck off me!
Ow.
What are you doing?
Yeah, an anime fan, I just don't agree. I don't want Cavill in a multiverse nostalgia movie. No, just give him his own movie. Just make it an Elseworld self-contained one-off. Whether it's Red Sun or something else. Like, just give him a movie of his own.
Remember movies?
Yeah, like part of why I'd like the Red Sun thing too. It's like Henry Cavill hasn't gotten a Superman solo movie since Man of Steel. Everything he got to do after that was an ensemble thing.
I would say that, like, I'm of the opinion I want them to get this universe established and like adapt
Right.
things before they start doing.
Yeah. When I say I want Henry Cavill Red Sun, I'm talking in like 5 years. You know what I mean?
Being on the other end of it, yeah.
Absolutely, you got to spend the time establishing this universe
I wonder if they got a
first.
bunker around here. I'll bet they
If anything, I want Marvel to start adapting some like all alternate universe movies. And I say
do
that as
what
somebody
if,
that
but correctly.
yes, and I say that as somebody that loves cinematic universes. Give me a
Mhm.
cinematic universe, but also give me the alternative.
Yeah. Tyler asked, "How would we feel about Snyder coming back for a crime syndicate Justice League movie?" I'd rather see him make something else.
Um,
I
no, give him the Lobo movie.
He'd be a good fit for that. Get to work with Momoa again.
Yeah, because
Some
apparently
Supergirl.
he's the only one at DC that could get a good performance out of Momoa.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think Snyder, especially after Rebel Moon, maybe he should stop making ensemble movies.
Just
Go back to something a little more focused.
the main thing I want is just get him away from Netflix.
Yeah, please.
He needs. He is a lot. I'm gonna offend some cinephiles. He is a lot like George Lucas, where I think he has some really cool ideas, but he needs somebody to tell him no.
Yeah.
He also needs to let other people do jobs.
Noah asked earlier if he should go to bed or write his notes for the game review tomorrow. Well, obviously the latter. The show is more important.
Yeah. Fuck sleep.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. I don't want to do it last minute, but yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching that movie yet. Sorry.
Fuck your movie, Noah. No, I like to watch it as close to like going live as possible, so that it's fresh in my brain. Like I take
Oh, for
notes,
sure.
but especially because like I want to watch Until Dawn. I don't want that to be the last thing in my head. Because well, I don't have high hopes for that movie.
Yeah, we'll see. Anime fan says he doesn't think Lobo needs his own film. I mean, it's not about need. It's let's see how Supergirl does first. Let's see how people like Momoa's Lobo, and if you have the right filmmaker attached, it could be a fun movie.
I mean, I could argue that with any character that's adapted, do they need their own thing?
Right. The vast majority of superhero movies we've gotten in the last 20 years are ones I'd say beforehand I didn't think we needed, but I like a lot of them. So
Yeah.
just if you get somebody to make a good movie,
I didn't need a Joker movie, let alone two of them, but here we are.
yeah, well, I like the first one. Okay.
Well, the first one exists.
Yeah, Noah made a good point. He said we got 3 Jokers on Gotham before 3 Jokers in comics. That's true.
Yeah.
Gotham was actually a trailblazer.
It was, say it with me, ahead of the curve.
And then Noah said he would kill for a Gotham Central show. but no, the monkey's paw situation is that it's just a sequel to Gotham.
No, the Monkey's Paw is it got changed into an Arkham Asylum show. No, if you want a Gotham Central show, just go watch season 1 of Gotham.
And
I mean,
there's a
it's
little bit
technically
of Gotham Central in it.
it takes place at Gotham Central. It's close enough.
Hello, a map. Looks like they marked it out pretty good.
Oh, it's 2 hours. That's good to know. Noah, why are you always picking long ass movies? Ooh, Robert, we got a new toy.
Ooh, now that looks fun. Anime
Now,
Fan also said he thinks superhero films should stop adapting storylines for a while.
what?
I'd argue most of them don't, or at least very loosely. And I don't think going back to the comics is a bad idea.
How dare, how dare things look at the source material? The rest of our
But like,
drugs. Robert, why do you have drugs?
I still have code drugs.
It's like Boozer says.
We'll take a nap first.
Why don't you just marry Boozer? God.
No,
You won't shut up about him. Whatever your name is, Sam Witwer.
but anime,
Deacon?
the heroes, those heroes wouldn't exist or be who they are without those comics. The whole point of adaptation is seeing those stories brought to life.
And it's all, and often it's trying to find the right balance. Like, it, James Gunn's Superman is not a straight adaptation of All Star Superman, nor do I think it needs to be, but
No.
it's clearly pulling a lot from it for inspiration. And
Yeah.
that's fine.
Well, in with comics, I'm looser on the like adaptation thing, just because comics are weird and there's like 800 years worth of continuity to pull from. So yeah, mix and match. That's fine.
Right. There aren't a lot of comic book storylines that are conducive to a 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
There are, but
Like I'm kind of glad that the lanterns thing is a show. I wish this wasn't what we were doing for the show. I don't you like because like but like you couldn't adapt like the Green Lantern Corps War as a 2 hour film. With all the different colors
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, for sure. But you also you have to build to that. That can't be
Yeah.
what you start with.
Yeah, which makes me wonder if like what they're looking for on Earth is like a yellow lantern ring or maybe a red lantern. Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah.
He records his parts separately, and then I play them on the live stream at the appropriate places.
I don't know.
We've also seen where superhero movies that don't adapt anything from the comics. It was called the early 2000s, and most of it sucked.
Yeah.
Mike needs fuel. Oh, good. I'm just gonna hide in here. Robert, where are the other drugs going?
Okay.
It's a trick question.
There's a little question mark here, but now I'm see it. Okay, Roach. Who the hell is Roach? Is that a body? Is that a person?
Is it an idea? Is it a theme?
What's the theme of your movie, Roach? I don't know what a Green Lantern is, Tyler.
Yeah, well, in early 2000s superhero movies, I've talked about before. I think I don't want to say get a bad rap, but like there are a lot of ones I from that era I do like. It's just that the bad ones are really fucking bad and kind of colored the whole era, in my opinion.
No, because the good ones like X2 and the first Spider-Man movie, uh, like looking at the comics. Even if Brian Singer is a hack that didn't want to admit that he was looking at the comics.
And we've talked about this before. It's part of the problem too. It's like all the successful franchises, whichever ones you like, but like Spider-Man, X-Men, Blade, whatever you think of those individual movies, they all ended on disappointing third installments. And again, I think kind of colored that whole era, where even the ones people liked eventually
Oh,
were
I see what
disappointing.
the issue is. Okay.
Thank you, anime fan. He says that he has to get going and hopes we get 500 subscribers soon.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
appreciate it.
We're close. 8 more, Robert. Shit.
Only 8 more to go.
Where's
I'm
my
glad.
autograph book?
I'm glad Noah picked a really popular classic film for us to review tomorrow. I'm sure that'll help the subscriber count go up.
Top off the tank.
Just kidding, Noah. I'm looking forward to watching that.
What if the game is actually like a huge like online hit and we're just stupid?
It's like this huge cult movie we've just never heard of for some reason. That's like, dude, they have a convention. They have like an annual convention that people go to. Have you not heard of this? But I would love if future picks from Noah just get progressively more obscure.
Maybe not.
Like,
There you are. Tucker, I spotted him and it looks like he was waiting for someone.
Deke. Don't let him get away. I want him alive.
What the shit? Tucker alive?
More shit has come up missing.
Oh, come on, Roach. Where do you think you're going, huh? Still back here, you son of a bitch? Fine. All right, let's do this the hard way.
calm down, Sam. Or Deacon.
Slow down. I just want to talk.
Yeah? About
That sounds like a lie.
Yeah, goddammit! If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead.
Oh Jesus!
Does
I
this
need you.
game condone motorcycle violence?
Oh my God!
Oh my!
Where are you going? You can't get away.
That should be a YouTube short.
You late for something? Where you going?
That was amazing.
Why does he have? Oh Jesus!
Noah said that next time he's gonna pick a French new wave horror picture.
No, it's gonna make us eventually review his own movie, says Tyler, that he's secretly making. Oh God, I'm scared.
Oh no.
His own private home movies.
Drugs, I forgot to cut you in. Is that about it?
Called Two Brothers.
No. Clue me in on what you're thinking, man. I want to understand. You took what was left while the old woman wasn't looking? Oh, Deke, I got nothing on me, okay? Search me.
Oh God. Are you gonna go full Negan on it?
Hey, Tuck, I got him. Mark down these coordinates and have Alkai send some men. Get to Leon, okay, Deke? Please, man. Come on, please.
He's alive? Did he have my drugs?
Deke, please, we rode together, remember? You and me, we were friends. Alive, but if you want him to stay that way, Alkai, you better hurry up and get off his ass. St. John out.
Our hero, everybody.
Fine.
Hey, Booze Man, you there?
Oh, Anthony.
Crazy question. Any idea where I can find a thunder egg?
What the hell for?
The kid I brought in, just trying to find a way to cheer her up. She mentioned having one.
Shit, I don't know. Check the gift shop at Belknap Crater. I don't know, maybe Marion Forks.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Now for the thrilling part of the game where we go to find a toy.
Yay.
We're
It'll be
not
worth
ready
it if it's
for.
Chucky.
We're not ready for Horse Lake near a checkpoint. Let's do this. Going the wrong way. Oh God, there's a cave right there. What the hell is a thunder egg? Noah asked Anthony, and I don't know if he's responding to you or referencing
he was
something.
responding to me. Tyler said that Noah's trilogy will be Torgo, Torgo and the Cat, and finally Torgo and the Cat Quantumania. Oh.
That's the one you went with? Fucking Ant-Man?
That classic film.
Everyone's favorite MCU trilogy.
Yeah.
No, it'll be Torgo, the first cat, Torgo, the winter cat, and then Civil War
At
Torgo,
War?
Civil War
Civil Cat?
Torgo versus Cat.
Okay.
And then they'll do a spin. They'll replace Snow with a black guy.
Uh-huh.
And call it Brave New Cat. And it'll be a shitty decades later sequel to the Incredible Hulk cat. Oh shit.
Gift shop. Gotta be one in here somewhere.
Do you think it's going to be too convenient if there is, in fact, a Thunder Egg in this store?
Yes.
All right, so now that we've fleshed out a little bit more character, how do you feel about Tegan St. John as a protagonist?
I like Sam Witwer. Is my
Yeah.
answer.
Oh my god. You don't love Biker Man that talks to himself?
When he's played by Sam Witwer, yes, I love him.
No, I don't think this game works if this is played by anyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we
If
get to
this
go
was,
deliver the toy.
yay. If this was a big hit, though, do you think this would have? If Witwer would have done more video game work after?
Maybe because we know they had a sequel already in the works that got canceled.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because like Troy Baker, I don't think starts as like the video game guy. That's just kind of what he falls into.
Yeah,
And
but I
that's
mean,
just
he
his
was
career now.
already established by the time like The Last of Us came out.
That's true. But also, I guess to answer my own question, it surprisingly didn't happen with Witwer with Force Unleashed. I mean, that's his first game, and that's a wait.
Yeah. Well, I think the difference is like no disrespect to Troy Baker. He's not an actor. He's a voice actor. So like even outside of video games, the bulk of his work is voice acting. Whitwer is an actor first.
For sure.
If that makes sense to anybody in
Yeah.
the chat.
I also argue Troy Baker probably has more range.
Yes. But he does in voice acting, but I don't know about like acting. Like if you just
live
put him in
action
front of a
acting. Yeah,
camera.
I get that. And I mean, Whitwer, he's done a lot of voice acting for Star Wars and stuff. And hey, he's got that mall show coming out, so good for him.
Oh
I
god,
hope
they're
it's cool.
doing that.
Oh yeah, and he's pretty involved. Like they've been working on it for a while. So I hope it's cool.
Yeah.
I like his Darth Maul.
How many times do you think they'll make him scream Kenobi?
All the times.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's very knowledgeable about Star Wars and very passionate. I know he's pretty involved with that show behind the scenes, so it gives me a little more hope for it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't trust anything Disney does until I hear it's good.
That's beautiful. Will you take me
But yeah,
back?
like I think the big difference is just that
Back to Mary
Sam
Jane?
Witwer is primarily like a TV actor.
Mhm.
That's what I see him most in.
Look, I can't because it's not safe.
I gotta turn in.
I do need to. Oh, I forgot he's in the Callisto Protocol. We need to play that at some point.
Is that horror?
It is. So
Never heard of it.
okay, it has a fascinating development cycle. So that is the original creator of Dead Space's like big return to survival horror, and it was hyped up as like, oh, this is gonna be like a big AAA horror game. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be well written. Gameplay is gonna be great. uh, and funnily enough, it starts in the same universe as PUBG, the Battle Royale, and then the game
Is
comes
that still
out.
a thing?
Yeah.
I know it was popular.
Yeah, I don't think it's nearly as popular as it used to be, but and then the game comes out, and it's just like it might have one of the worst gameplay loops I've ever seen in a video game, and it just got trashed critically.
Oh.
But funnily enough, he is one of, if not like the primary antagonists.
Let's see.
That's cool.
But a lot of the game is just you run up to an enemy, you flick the analog stick to dodge, you hit, repeat until it dies, and then you move on.
I was expecting the end of that story to be, and then they patched it and fixed it.
Nope.
And now it's a great game.
Nope. It got a DLC to wrap up the ending, and then they moved on. I think the studio closed. No, it was a disaster.
Is that something you'd play on the channel just for the fuck of it, or would you commit to like trying to finish it?
I've beaten it before. So here's the thing. When I say it's a disaster, I mean that was just the reception. In reality, it's like a 6 or 7 out of 10 game. The graphics are beautiful. The writing is okay. It's just the gameplay is extremely limited and repetitive. It's not the worst thing ever.
But John, I thought The Last of Us had repetitive game.
The Last of Us has a bigger gameplay loop than the Callisto Protocol.
I can believe it.
We'll play it one day. I'd like to get the DLC.
Given that I've never heard of the Calypso Protocol or whatever the fuck, doesn't sound like it had legs.
Nope. And I mean, you can Google this to fact check. They were going in hard on this. Like, I think they had planned like a whole universe around this. And then it was just like nobody cared.
Tyler, that's incorrect. He asked why I don't play games. I do play games, but for this channel, it's just do stuff that John plays. That's just how we have it set up. And we have played multiplayer games on the channel. We just haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah, the problem is that the only one that still has like content is Dead by Daylight, and I kind of hate that game.
I do think we should do a fun extra Evil Dead stream at some point soon. Just a funeral.
Yeah, I would be down for that.
I'd like to play that again at least one more time.
Yeah, I'd be down. Maybe we can get like Austin or someone to join in.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, because I'd like a bigger crowd because I have a feeling we're going to be playing with AI.
Yeah, for sure. That might just be
to answer your question, Tyler's Robert's never even heard of video games. I had to introduce him to them. It was very strange.
Well, that's true. I keep pushing to play Crash Bandicoot for the channel, but John keeps saying no for some reason.
It's not a horror game. No, I would actually be very down
horror.
for Robert to play a game on the channel. It's just he doesn't have a setup for streaming.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's a basic bitch. I mean.
Yep.
But we play multiplayer games when they come out. When there's one that like we both have and want to play.
Friday the 13th might be coming back.
Dude, if that comes back,
play that?
we are playing the shit out of that.
Hell yeah. So we got kind of the 1-2, and of course this is just rumored. I don't think it's confirmed yet. But the 1-2 punch of, oh, Texas Chainsaw, that's dead. That happened fast. That's over. But that they may have killed that game because Kun Media's going back to Friday the 13th, working on a remaster or re-release or something, and I guess I'm fine with that.
The bitter irony being, because because there's Evil Dead, which I think is on its last leg. Dead by Daylight, which I don't know about you, but I am burned out on. That's about it. Oh, and Texas Chainsaw, which is dead.
That doesn't have cross. Yeah, well, it's dead. And I still had to play it. I own that game. I still had to play it.
And somebody won't upgrade to a PS5.
Yeah. I'll get one eventually.
There's also that Predator game. I don't know if that's actually still going.
Yeah, another game I have that I haven't played. Oh, we
Uh,
should absolutely do that this year at some point.
Yeah.
With all the Predator stuff coming out. Tyler asked if I'm a PlayStation, Xbox, or PC guy. I'm a PlayStation guy, but I have the PS4. I still need to get the PS5.
Yep.
Tyler, did you ever play that multiplayer Friday the 13th game? Because I love that game. I put so many hours into it, but it's currently dead. So I hope they're bringing it back.
My head's pounding like a mother.
You're burning up.
No, I'm just tired.
Okay, stay here. Rest. I'll think of something.
Look, I don't need a goddamn babysitter. I'm fine.
Shit. Come on. Think.
Boozer gets injured a lot in this story. He's just always in pain.
His life is suffering.
That's his base setting.
Yep.
Oh, there's also Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I don't want to buy that.
Yeah, that came and went quick.
Yup. Well, I don't know what they expected. It's an IP based on a franchise. It's a game based on an IP that only people like you and I remember.
Yeah, it's a cult franchise. That's not a big one.
And I want to do an RE5 co-op run, but somebody refuses to buy the damn thing.
But apply pressure.
You're the only person who defends that game.
That's not true. I feel like RE5 is pretty commonly acknowledged as a good co-op game, just like a bad RE game.
Fair enough.
It's 6 that everybody's like, yep, that one sucked.
Oh god, Tyler's making me feel old. He said he thinks he was like 12 or 13 when that Friday the 13th came out. God.
It's been
That was
that
like
long,
8 years
has it?
ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was 2017.
God.
Right?
Well, stream's over. I have to go drink a lot.
Perfect ending.
Hey, Robert, we're in a flashback.
Yay. An on-rails flashback.
Okay, Deacon, there's space between you two. You can walk a little faster.
I think he's just been staring at her butt this entire time. Like, they're really trying to sell me on this love story.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a question I have for you, because I don't know if it's just me being, judgmental. Does she seem like a scientist?
Hold on. What's wrong?
Short answer, no. But
Because the weird thing, the holdup that I'm having is A, she doesn't dress like a scientist. And B, she doesn't seem nerdy for a scientist.
yeah. Also, they're ambiguously aged, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's part of I can't pinpoint how old these people are supposed to be.
Well, see, you tell
Is
because
he 25 or 35? I can't tell.
well, see, you know that he's younger because he doesn't have his beard.
That's true. And he has his backwards cap.
Yeah, that
So
is
he's hip with the kids.
it's necessary for any.
First white explorer.
Okay, did the rapture happen before this virus outbreak? Why is this so desolate and empty? There's no one here.
The MC's got a couple of brothers. One fully packed.
There's no cars or anything.
Why are they talking about this?
Whoa.
Yeah, Jack actually had some guys bust in from Sacramento.
Well, she's gonna get canceled.
What is this conversation?
I'm kidding. Jersey Jim's an old
They're in
buddy.
love, John.
And myself, we served in the same unit. Come by the clubhouse Sunday. I'll show you around. You'd like the guy. He's funny as shit. He makes a mean margarita.
Well, I have to be in the lab early on Monday, so.
I'll have us back in your bed by 10. I promise.
Whoa.
How can I refuse an offer
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, you try
Back
picking
to how old are they supposed to be?
Lavender. You want me to pick lavender?
Yep. And bring me 3 plants and don't crush them.
Oh, I'm gonna crush him.
Come on.
Robert, what does lavender look like? Oh God, it's gonna make me run at this
System error.
slow default. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Punch me. Oh wait, is it this very noticeably sticking out?
It's the shiny one with the numbers above it.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Let's try swimming. That's a neat trick.
This one?
Yep, keep going.
I do want to look into some like co-op horror games.
Last one.
Great, bring them here.
'Cause I would like to do more games that we can both do, not strictly just multiplayer. Because I don't know about you, but I get bored with those real fast.
After all.
If he's not, then I didn't kill him.
Hey. Aw.
I also can't tell at what stage of this relationship they're in.
This is the one we're gonna drink. I make this
Right.
killer herbal tea with it.
I'll bet.
Hey. All right, if you come over, then I will make it for you as long as you give me a ride home.
All right, great.
You're gonna be a believer.
And we'll grab a beer for myself on the way over.
Chemistry, though. I think my
Just
questions are
remembering
just.
the good times.
I think my questions are mostly just the writing.
I like
I
how
pulled weeds
structurally
before.
I like how structurally though our protagonists will just stare into space and flash
Well-
back into a whole mission.
You know, he talks to himself.
Yeah, it's in character.
Oh, see, Robert, that was the setup. Because now we have to go pick lavender again. He was
Have fun with
remembering.
that.
He was remembering when he picked lavender with his not quite a scientist girlfriend.
Oh, Tyler, are you talking about that side-scrolling game, that Halloween Evil Dead game? Yeah, we played that on the channel.
Yeah, I've never finished it, but it was a good
Have
time.
they added DLC to it yet? I feel
Nope,
like it's been out a
they've
while.
they've been radio silent
Weird.
as far as I know.
Something Sarah showed me a few summers ago before.
The hell was that?
Anyway, there's a plant that grows
Oh,
in
Jesus.
called lavender. It grows in the
Wolf
shade,
jump
along
scare.
rivers, lake shores. I'm gonna
Okay.
find some.
So I have a question. You know, we didn't know what lavender looked like, but we knew what it was. He just said it like it was some rare plant that nobody knows. There's a plant called lavender out there that I can go get.
Don't worry.
You made that up.
We're riding north. I swear to God, not too much longer. You hear me?
Thank God we came up here and cleared. Oh, fuck me.
Oh. Oh, weird. This news just came out. Alex Garland is set to direct live-action Elden Ring movie for A24.
What?
That's just what I'm reading.
Oh, Jesus.
Hi. You know, he just did Warfare. I don't know.
Hiring from directing.
Yeah.
You know what Elden Ring is, right?
But only vaguely.
Okay, so do you know what Dark Souls is?
Oh, yeah. It's part of that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open world Dark Souls. How the fuck? Jesus. What's your favorite game you've played on the channel? The Last of Us. That wasn't even a question. That was just... A24 has been making some moves in the video game department. Because they're also doing that Death Stranding movie.
Oh yeah.
Are you excited for that?
Sure.
I also don't know how the fuck you do that. I like that game well enough. I don't know how you adapt that and make it interesting at all.
Got you.
Wow, I was just looking up that Retro Realms game, the Halloween Evil Dead one. Every single news article I'm finding goes back to 2024.
Yeah.
I can't find anything on this game in 2025. That's surprising.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they didn't meet sales targets or something.
Yeah, because I thought they had DLC in the works.
Well, the way Austin talked about it is they had hinted that they already had like their next movie
Yeah, like
tie-in planned.
Yeah, I thought there was something else like around the corner.
I just want a Hellraiser game.
Hellraiser would be cool.
I don't know why this is so hard. But I mean that I assume that goes for you too. The Last of Us is just the best game you played on here.
I got a use for you.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Well, then I'm going to be a
And also,
contrarian and say it was Last of Us Part 2.
I like both games. But then there's other games like the Resident Evil ones where I've had fun watching you play them, but I haven't played them for myself, so I don't feel qualified to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I've had fun. I'm really excited to do 4. I want to do 4 originally and remake, but I figured it'd be nice to distance ourselves from some Resident Evil for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of what I would buy and play for myself, the remake of Resident Evil 2 would probably be at the top of my list.
I would pay money to watch you play that.
Have you found all the lavender yet?
I have. I'm gonna try to restore power to this place, and it's probably gonna be a disaster.
What could possibly go wrong?
Way onto the.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Yeah, I've made this comment before. The hits in this game aren't completely satisfying. Like there's something just a little off.
It's the sound design, yeah.
But when we finish this task, I think that'd be a good place to wrap it up for the night.
No sleep till days have gone. That's fine. I shouldn't have wasted all that time on that stupid nest, but whatever.
It's the authentic experience.
Yeah.
It's what people are here to see.
Okay, this might end in death.
You don't know that.
Green lights are good.
Fuck.
Damn it. That's gonna bring them all down on me. There really better be something in here with all this trouble.
Yeah, I say just stay in here, have a pint, wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Yeah, a Nero injector. Let's see if it still works.
Let's go.
Was about due for a
Let's
facial.
go, fam.
Can't sleep. Fuck.
Quarter.
Hold on, we're gonna have to.
We got another train coming in hot.
Get those people to move back. Move back. Radio command, we got no more room. I told them we need another dozen.
He's not gonna let me sleep, which is how you save.
Sir, you don't understand.
The hell I don't. Those assholes in Portland just don't listen. I tell
These people need to shut up.
traffic back up all the way to Fairlawn.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've only got one chance at this.
Let's go faster.
Damn it.
Oh.
Hold on. Okay. We need to get out of here and then we can call it a night. It's fine. All right, we've got
Sounds good.
3 Molotovs and a pipe. The bike is over there. Let's go.
Yeah, boy.
Deacon must run faster. Go,
Get away
go,
from my
go.
bike.
Once we have
So,
better
how much-
gear, we'll come out here and clear that all out.
Yeah, how much distance do you have to make for the horde to just, like, vanish or stop following you? Do you have a clear sense of that?
I don't. I'm assuming they're programmed to stay in that area unless you could probably farm them out of there. I've never really messed with it because they can be lethal.
Oh, yeah.
Go say hi to Booze or your favorite character.
Of course. Do better, Boozer.
Hey,
Do
Boozer.
something.
God damn it.
Ah.
It's a funny thing. I was remembering how a few summers back, Sarah took me out to Bear Creek. We were picking lavender, and she taught she taught me how to make this sap for burns. And
Look, I got out today. Okay? I actually had a look around the mountain. I cleared some traps. The arm's almost as good as new.
all right, okay. I'm just gonna leave it right here.
Hey, just give me a couple
What's
days.
this conversation?
Okay? Just right up north like you said and get out of this shithole.
Sure.
don't understand is they act like he was near death, but like, oh, he laid down fast.
Oh, I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit.
All right, well, that seems like a good place to end it. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow with the game. And then Sunday we will play more Alan Week 2.
Hell yeah.
Have a good